Yes.
There you go. Live on Facebook. There you
go. So what we have to do, sir, before anything else, to get a good thumbnail, we've got to pause for a second. So. I love it. Right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. This is Love Sales, Hate Selling, a business owners interview. And I am absolutely chuffed to bits that we have the man himself, John Hill. John Hill, thank you so much for coming on the show today. And why is it taking you so long? I've been asking for people for ages, and
building up anticipation. That's what it is.
Right. Okay. Well, I heard your foresight at 4N, and all all I say, mate, is, and obviously we had a meeting as well over in Quinton, and I like it when I speak to people who know stuff. I love it. I think it's really cool. So
he's just come in. Hang on, come on. Do you want to come in? And he likes people who know stuff.
Right, so listen. Let's get you. Let's get going, because I know you're a busy man.
Okay.
A lot of female business leaders that you have to keep fit. So right, let's get started. Well, thank you for coming on today, John. But
pleasure.
Yeah, John, please just tell everybody what you do for a business.
Well, I run a fitness business, and our specialist area now, really, in terms of where I'm focusing, is our group program. That's kind of our signature program. So basically what we do is we work with women between the ages of 30 and 50. We have got a few of our members over 50, and basically our job is to help them to look better and feel better. We don't subscribe to any particular mode of doing anything, really. Our job is really just about consistency. So we run a group program. We're based in Queen's Park in Harborne. We're outdoors. And really, it's about helping the ladies be consistent, get the results, and just keep doing what they do. Yes, we've got the tools and mechanisms to help them get quick results if need be, in terms of weight loss and that type of stuff. But it's more about creating an environment where they can go, they can be consistent, they can be around people like them. And just enjoy it, and just get some enjoyment out of it, and want to keep doing it.
Excellent. You know something, I love that word, consistent. We're gonna come back to that word, I'm pretty sure, when we talk about your success. So that's fantastic. So you work with ladies to basically get them looking good, feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
And from what you said, so I would imagine that the bride who's maybe getting married in 4 weeks may well come to you if she wants to go on a bit of a dramatic.
Yeah, maybe we can do that. I mean, it's one of those, really. My own personal experience, because I've been doing this for, my own journey is about 15 years. 2005, I started losing weight myself. So I'm almost like a grizzly, grumpy old veteran. I don't. Yeah, as I always say, look, I've got no hair. I don't tend to get involved. I don't get involved in the nonsense, and yes. I'll just call it as I call it. I understand why. I'm a marketeer. I understand the shiny object. I understand all that. But I think from our point of view, it's more about, yes, we can get you a quick result, but ultimately we want majority of the people that get those quick results through, say, our 28-day transformation to then say, oh, actually, I can keep doing that, and I can get these amazing results for that, what's called a fit for purpose plan, which is your wedding, your whatever. But actually, I want to keep them, because ultimately it's the best analogy is like getting a quick result, but then losing it again is like wetting yourself in the dark. You get a warm feeling for a bit, but in the end, you end up covered in pee. So do you know what I mean? It's that type of mindset that we focus on, really.
I love that. I'm going to have to read.
I've dulled that down. It sounds better with swear words. So I've dulled that
down. No French, John. We'll have the French when we finish. So obviously, I heard there that you started to lose weight yourself 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, what was your inspiration for the business then?
The business? Well, basically what happened was, the story went, I lost a load of weight, had a sort of a bit of a meltdown in my life, just change of circumstances, messy relationship breakup, living on my own for the first time, broke, low self-esteem, paranoid. I mean, depression wasn't fashionable then. So, and we didn't have social media. So, it was a matter of I had to just get on with it. You know what I mean? So, and what happened was, I just literally had these moment of, right, and I've got to do something about this, and literally just didn't have a trainer, didn't have any of that, didn't have any sort of just I had a basic blueprint of eating less and moving more, which is why there's no real point me talking about what I do on these things because you know what to do. And it was just eat less, move more. And I just did that. And I lost about 3 stone by the end of 2005. And I remember the journey because I didn't weigh myself. I weighed myself in the July in Cyprus outside a doctor's surgery, and I was 17 stone 12, I think, or 11. And then I weighed myself on Christmas Eve in Nuffield Gym, which used to be Greens in Ruby. I thought, there's some scales. I'll just jump on them. I thought, I didn't know. People were going, oh, how much weight have you lost? I was like, about a stone and a half. And I was 14.7. And I remember it to this day. And I thought, blimey, I'd lost all this weight. So what I did, yeah, and it was just like, obviously, I could bore everybody to tears with the importance of, why not weighing myself played a part and not being neurotic. Tell us. Yeah, well, basically, I wasn't neurotic. I had such a strong goal in my head and motivations in my head. Motivations is probably the wrong word, but I had such a strong drive to do it. The numbers weren't important. It was that I wasn't going to get this ego boost of, I've lost 2 pounds this week, everyone, look at me. Yeah. Because I knew I had to do it. I knew it was more about, and there's nothing wrong with doing that stuff as long as you're consistent, in my opinion, but I had to do it. And then literally I wasn't neurotic about it. I just had to do it. And then when I got that result, I was like, bloody hell, yeah. And then I absorbed, and this is before I did any NLP or any of that, I absorbed all the associated like feelings, payoffs, benefits of doing it. And it just all amalgamated to this. And then literally about January of 2016, I bought my first issue of Men's Health, which is where that comes from. Because the guy on the first ever issue of Men's Health had one of them. Seriously, I ever bought January 2000. My wife says,
I've got a caterpillar, look.
My wife says, what have you got that for? And I said, I'll tell you the story. 2006, my first ever issue of Men's Health, the cover guy had one of those. And I just thought, I like that. So I kept it ever since. And I started reading Men's Health, and then I started getting interested in it because I've always been, I've not applied much of it, but I've read a lot. Yeah. And I'll show you my bookshelves, and that was it really. I just got into it, and I thought, and literally, and like people talk about the destiny and all this nonsense. Yeah. I was in the gym, and I just saw he kept seeing this trainer, and I just thought, what's that about? Could I do that? And then literally, I got qualified. It took me about a couple of years. So I was working at the time. I was NatWest Mortgage. I was a sales manager at NatWest Mortgage Services. And then I went in 2007, I went to a company called Torkel Clark, which doesn't exist anymore, as a sales manager, IFA, life insurance there.
Yeah.
And I didn't know about the industry at the time. And God, this is a whole nother conversation about the fitness industry. But I didn't know about what low paid it was, how hard it was. I mean, the average fitness professional in the UK earns 19 grand a year. When you're 20, great. When you're 43 with no hair, a child, and some mortgages, it's a problem. So, and so basically, I couldn't leave my job because I was like, well, I'm earning this much money here. What's this? And then literally, I found the company which I'm now associated with, Inspiring Fitness, back then, which is and I'm still involved with them. I still coach and mentor PTs and do some recruitment for them. And we are basically what we are is we're a national network of personal trainers, and we help trainers basically go from zero to running a business. We do lead generation, and we coach them and mentor them. So that's how I started. I literally had this company there that was providing me with inquiries through Google pay-per-click, and then just giving me sort of branding and all that sort of stuff and support and coaching. And that's how I got started. So I started in September of 2009. I launched my business. Took me about, I left my full-time job in July of 2010, which was the first time I'd ever left employment since I was 17. And then just kicked on from there. And there was loads of mistakes. I was desperate. I was like all over the shop. I was like, 18 months it took me. So these 3 months of lockdown, like you asked me at the start, I was like, well, I was in the hole for 18 months when I started. So,
he's like, this ain't nothing, man.
It's all right. I spent some time with my son. I'm all right. You know what I mean? So it was that really. And then it just went from there. And then literally, because I've always been interested in stuff, it was like, well, I saw that, and this is mad, that actually, and when people look at the industry from the outside, they see all this bravado and all this brashness and all this sort of stuff. It's all nonsense. They're all broke. And I'm not being funny. It's like, because they don't understand that they're providing us, and it's not their fault.
Yes.
It's not their fault.
Yeah.
They don't understand that their job is to sell a service.
Yes.
I haven't done a fitness qualification. I haven't done any sort of fitness qualifications in 5 years because it's not important. What's important, I can deliver the service. I can I can deliver the coaching, the accountability. I did a Facebook Live this morning on this, and I said, you need two things. You need adherence and accountability.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you got those two things, you'll get a result. If you're looking for anything else other than that, and you've got a real problem you need to fix, like you're a 3-4 stone weight loss situation, like I was, adherence, accountability, the stuff. That's why I will never go on these lives and start asking about keto and all this. It's irrelevant. You need adherence and accountability, and that's it. And that will get you the results. So the guys in the fitness industry, they don't understand that they're selling an exclusive service. Even a crap trainer's 20 quid an hour, which is a lot of money. I'm 50 and I could be more. Do you know what I mean? So it's that whole, and I saw that and I was like, well, actually, I've come in from a service background, 12, 13 years. So I need to be good at service and coaching and helping people. The stuff, the delivery, if you can't do that, you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be in the game. So that I also that gets you into the game. What wins the game is the ability to solve problems, connect, help people, and coach people. So that was where I came in, and that's why I've done all right. I'm obviously on a trajectory. I mean, I'm around people that are killing it, but and I do all right because I always realise that this is a business. It's not. I'm not a personal. This. If you know any trainers and they're struggling, tell them this. If they understand, they're not a personal trainer. They're a business selling personal training services. Boom. And that's the difference. And
I hope you use that quote on your social media.
And that's the difference. When I'm talking to PTs, because obviously I've got two different. When I'm talking to PTs, I'm like, look, you have to realise that you have to get off because. Today, I think it's today the announcement's coming about gyms reopening. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's going to be, what it must have cost them a fortune to do all those upgrades, like places like Pure Gym and that. Yeah. And these kids in the gym, they think there's going to be a queue of people with their wallets open outdoors and their ends. I'm telling you now, that's going to be a long road back. And you need to understand that you're selling a service. You're not, the stuff doesn't matter. Yeah,
absolutely. And I share your sentiment regarding the gyms. I mean, I'm not rushing to get back to anywhere where there's lots of people stood around. It's like, what? Hey, why?
Exactly,
why put yourself at risk?
So that was a bit of a tangent there. But the point is, and again, we're in a love, sales, hate, selling conversation. So that's what we need to talk about. Is when you realise you are not what you are. You are a business person selling what you are, or what you can provide, what you can solve. What you can solve. Then that's the big, and that's where we get these. We've got to drop the ego a little bit and say you need to stop because you're passionate about what you do, but nobody else is. You know, someone said to me, John, what have you learned in 11 years of being a PT? It's most people hate exercise. But we go,
pretty much.
we go into it going, I'm really passionate, I'm really amped and pumped and hyped and all this. And the person you're speaking to is in pain. They don't want to be told that they're bad because they're not passionate like you. They don't want to be told that they're broken. They don't want to be told there's anything wrong with them. What they want to be told is it's okay to feel that way and I can help you. And it's exactly the same in business.
John, man, you're amazing, man. I'll tell you what, guys, if you're not getting some value from this guy, then I don't know. This guy, man, seriously.
So there's the difference. And it's a sound. Thank you for that. Thank you. Appreciate that. It's the same in business. You've got to drop. And I get this now to this day, this ego, this thing about, I can help. We should be able to help everybody and be this floating thing. Yeah. You can't. You've got to understand that you have to say, right, you've got to be I said this to a PT the other day. I said, the difference between, I don't like the expression me and you, but the difference between someone who's successful and not, and whatever that is to you, is absolute clarity.
Yes.
I want to know what you do. If you sit in front of me, I want to know what you do. I don't want to know you give me the paradox of choice and give me a big list of things. I want to know what is it you do? What problems do you solve? How can you help? Yeah. And I think that's what I've learned about my business. So if someone comes to me and says, John, what do you do? Well, we help women between the ages of 30 and 50 look better, feel better. We've got a group fitness program. What's your prices? 97 quid for 28 days. Do you want to talk about that? Let's get on the phone. That's it. And I'm not being a dick. What I'm saying is that's what we do. So you either want that or want to talk about that or you don't. Yeah. If I go, well, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I love it, mate, because one of the things that I work on with my clients is that same message. Just telling someone you're an accountant is like, but telling someone...
everybody else.
Yeah. But telling someone you specialise in helping small businesses to save on their tax return or to become more efficient with their tax. You know, that becomes very niche. It becomes very targeted. Great stuff, man. I'll tell you what.
The way it should work for me, sorry, Matt, the way it should work for me is this. Firstly, you've got to understand your why. Because, as a business owner, because this nonsense, this six-figure nonsense, you see, 4% of the UK population under 100 grand plus. Now, that's an exclusive club, right? So if you and it's okay, and then I get this, you're negative of the no, you've got no.
Well, you're a realist.
Trust me. I'm trying to earn that, and trust me. So what you've got to do is you've got to say, right, what do I want? What do I want my life to look like? So why am I doing this? Because I could literally, as a P, I'm not pushing the PT side, but literally, if I wanted to, I could pop the cork, do 30 mobile sessions a week, burn myself out, and you know what I mean? So what do you want, first and foremost? What do you want it to look like? What is your why? You know, because ultimately, if we're having, and I did this yesterday. I did this. I'm talking to somebody on the phone, and I'm trying to sell them instead of trying to help them. And I'm still doing it 11 years in, and I've got like, you're supposed to be helping people, not and if you can't help them, tell them.
Yes.
But that comes from your why. That comes from what do I want? So get your why. Once you've got your why, okay, fantastic. Who do you want to help and what problems can you solve? And what do you enjoy doing? And once you enjoy doing that, then it forms this whole sort of thing that makes you it doesn't make it easier because then when you start to scale and start to get interested, then that comes with discomfort, investment, you know, difficult conversations, getting on the phone with people, not doing the comfort blanket stuff, the fluffy Facebook post, the Twitter, that stuff's got its place. It's accumulative. But if you want to go next level, you've got to have a more of a better strategy. So for me, it was all about clarity and just saying, actually, if I'm clear on what I do, I'm not using busy as an avoidance tactic. I'm actually clear on what I want
what
versus
you want.
that. How are you? Or I'm busy.
Which is nice because that allows you to also then set a nicer price point for your services because you are separating yourself from the run of the mill. Oh, I'm a personal trainer, or I work with ladies between 30 and 50 to achieve, you know what I mean? It's very, very specific. So it separates you. That's brilliant, mate. Before we go on, I just want to say hello to anybody who's on. I've got a few comments coming. Let me just... It's all right. It's all right.
Have I said another coffee? So if I've scared anybody, I'm sorry.
Hey, good morning, Glenn. Oh yeah, he loved our pause for the thumbnail. Of course, man. That's what we
the
do.
Best bit. That's the reason why I'm here.
Chris, good morning, Chris Day. Yeah, here to learn. I hope that you are soaking up this knowledge, guys. I told you this man is amazing. And to be fair, we could probably talk for an hour and a half. But
could you tell me wife that, please? Because she still don't get it 5 years in. So will you tell her?
Tell her to listen to the
Tell her I'm
recording.
amazing. And see how Brummie I get when I get excited. See that?
Oh, we all get a bit Brummie, mate, when we start talking.
I love it. It's great. I love talking on these Facebook lives. They're great. Oh, they're great, these Facebooks.
Ernie Boxall, Ernie says consistency. Love that. Yeah, absolutely, mate.
I'll talk about that, Phil.
My friend Glenn says you're a funny guy. He is a funny guy. He's amazingly funny.
Funny looking.
Have a meeting with him and you'll have a stitch on more than laughing. Hi Alfie Hamilton, hope you're well, hon. So John, I know that you know there's going to be a long answer here, really, but so what are some of the kind of the challenges that you faced with the business, with kind of getting it to where you want it to get to?
Investment, knowing that you've got to spend money. And knowing, and if you want to go, you've got to spend dough. I mean, you want to rhyme, you want a metaphorical rhyme. Then I think what I've learned is from some of the guys that I've been around in the last 3 years and some coaching that I've had is, you haven't. I mean, obviously this is relative, but you have to invest. I think it's too easy to. I think you have to invest, and that investment has to have a direction. Because where I mean, I do the whole thing. So I will literally talk about consistency. I will tweet a quote of the day every day.
Yes.
Because I've always done it. Now, I'm not sitting there going, oh God, where's all my leads from that tweet? What I do is I've always done it. So it's that consistency thing. So that's got its place. Social media, this sort of stuff, live's got its place, content, pictures, memes, all that's got its place.
Yeah.
But you have to see a return on what you do.
Yes.
So if you want, so the biggest lessons I've learned from an investment standpoint is, number one, know your client value.
Yeah.
So what is my average client worth? So if your average client is worth, and that's based on recurring as well as front-end income.
Yeah.
If your average client is worth £1,000,
yes.
say, for example, what would you spend
to get that £1,000?
To get that £1,000. And then, and that's the way you've got to look at it. So above and beyond your daily content stuff and that stuff, because what the problem is, and I see this a lot with PTs and coaches, is they get angry with people because they don't like what they're saying. So they'll say something like, you should be fit and you're bad if you don't get fit, versus actually separate yourself out from that and then say, don't get angry with people, just give the content.
Yes.
And then when you're looking at a scaling investment, what's my client worth? What's an average client worth to me? And how much am I willing to spend to get that client? So, for example, I don't mind telling you numbers. Did a little bit of a test campaign last month on Facebook Messenger ads. Don't worry about the technical side. Don't worry about that. I'm just going to give you an example. And we spent 244 quid and we got 1,200 back. Now, that's an experiment and that's small change compared to what we could do. But it was a project to test. Now, the question I would ask any business owner is, are you willing to, I won't use the exact word, but it's called an effort. It's called an effort fund. And you've got to have it right. I'm going to put 200 quid. That's my effort on a project to see what I get back.
Yes. Yes.
And then test that from an investment standpoint and find the information, speak to somebody, get an expert in. The guys who I speak to, the guys who do the work with me on Facebook ads particularly, and they're next level, mate. I mean, I've done all right out of Facebook advertising on my own. Yeah. But these cats are different gravy.
I remember us when we had our meeting, you were telling me about you were actually going to see those guys because of you've been on the whole kind of customer journey and done your due diligence, checked them out, they said some pretty words to you. And obviously, if you've gone on board, it's because, John, I know you work on results. So I know that if you are working with these guys, that they're giving you back what you expect and some. Yeah,
I mean, it's a big investment, but going back to my adherence and accountability thing, if I give you if you say to me, I can get you this and it costs you $5,000, what do you think my adherence is going to be? Yeah, I guarantee you. I've just gone this morning through my targeting on my Facebook ads because I was getting sick of people thinking that what I was doing was free. So, so honestly, is it free? And you can get angry about it. God, you want to lose a stone in 6 weeks for free? But people do because they think it's fake, it's free. So I was saying, right, we need to target people in certain fields. But I want to help everybody. You can't, man, because if money's on the table, if money's an issue at the initial contact, it's always going to be an issue, and you're going to have that painful. And trust me, I've been there. I can actually remember those painful. I'm such a weirdo. I'm such a sensitive bloke because I was fat. I can remember all those conversations, Nigel. I can remember sitting in front of a woman. I can remember she sat there and she went, I can't afford that. And I was like, oh God, what do I do? And because I was new, I just dealt her in. Yeah. Totally wrong. Painful experience. Nothing personal, of course. Yeah. But so what you've got to do, investment's the biggest lesson. So what's you're willing to invest? What's your total value per customer? What's your effort fund? What are you willing to spend to test something? And then fourthly, who do you need to get coaching from? Yeah. To get where you're. So, for example, for me, a 30 to 50-year-old woman is on Facebook. They're not on Instagram. They're not on TikTok. They're not on Snapchat. They're not on Twitter. They're on Facebook. So there's no point me doing all that frilly italic writing on Instagram trying to be an influencer. I'd rather get paid. So I'm going to go to Facebook. I
bet you're already an influencer. You haven't got to go on.
Don't lump me in with them lots. I go mad at the PTs. The PTs I'm like, you got 20 followers, man. What are you doing with this big long motivational, these big long Buddha posts for? You got 20 followers, man. Get off there.
Stop it.
Get off there. I've got 700 of them. I still don't get nothing from it. So anyway, so get your marketplace. Where are they? Yeah. So work out your average cost per client, work out your effort fund, work out where your clients are, and then get some help to find out how to get them into a buying situation. Yes. So, for example, like our page on Facebook, again, from a trust perspective, if that's got its place, but I get likes on my Facebook page. So when I'm advertising on there, Facebook go, oh, that's a trustworthy page. We'll show his ads to more people. The people who go to my ads go, he's got 1,400 likes. Yeah, he's fairly legit.
Yeah.
So when I get them on the phone, I can
Yeah.
close them for £100 on the phone.
Yes.
Because of that trust
You've already built
there.
it. And you're consistent across all of your, even though you ain't prolific on the other platforms, you're consistent in terms of,
I use them all. Yeah, I use them all. So basically, I use Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. I use them all because you can't. I got a client through Instagram the other week.
Oh, brilliant!
But there was a strategy. It's a strategy, and there's actually a strategy. But that strategy I learned from the guys that I pay to help me
do what
to get
you need
better.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't just spammy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Spammy. Oh, get in touch or whatever. Because then what happens? If you know this. If you go on Facebook, particularly as a platform, and you go down that spammy route, you're going to get a lot. And again, this is only my personal opinion, so don't hunt me down with pitchforks. But then if you go into those bloody community groups and start posting in there, all you're going to be doing is answering comments, asking one question. And what's that question they ask, Nigel?
How much is it?
How much is it? Yeah, which is fine. But I say to people, do not tag my group in that Harbon community group because I'll be dealing with a load of. Because
I'm not sure you're allowed to say their name online because there's like those Harbon folk. They get very passionate when you.
No. Most of my clients live in Harbon. It's fine. We all joke.
No, that community page off.
Mate,
I've seen them go hell for leather.
I did it. They wound me up once. They got. I mean, but that's just one platform. Social media is an angry place anyway. Twitter, I mean, unreal. But the point I'm trying to make is that's an example. But the reason why I don't post it, particularly that one, and we're based in Harbon, is because that's all you get.
Yeah.
How much is it? How much is it? How much is it? Yeah. And I had this example the other day. Somebody sent me 3 messages on a messenger ad. And I didn't even respond. So I hadn't even responded. And they sent me 3 within minutes. How much is it? What's the price? And then price with loads of question marks. Now, again, nothing personal. Tell me that's someone do you want to work with?
Absolutely not.
If I was running Alan's Superstop up Netherton, up the road from me, it sells everything. Yes, because I can do you a dustpan and brush cheaper than bloody Lidl or Tesco. Yeah. But we're not a commodity. Now,
the thing is, though, what those people aren't actually seeing is how the business is positioned in that you aren't the run of the mill PT. I do a bit of a hobby, and I think. We're always going to get
the hobby PT. I'll rewind on that comment to take any sort of personal anecdote about it. This isn't those people. This isn't those people's fault. No. So those people asking questions, how much is it? I'm not saying they're bad people. No. I'm just saying I can't help them because they're coming at it from the wrong angle.
They're not coming at it from a point of this guy can get me the result I want. They're coming at thinking, how cheap can I get it? How cheap can I pay to get the result I want?
Which is fine. Yeah. What I get a lot of, Nige, is how can I get your service at this price? So how can I get How can I get your adherence and accountability? For the price that I'm paying the £3.50 everybody welcome Zumba class. Do you know what I mean?
Zumba.
Which again is I'm not. If you go there 3 times a week and do it consistently, guess what you get? Results. But if you're not, you've got to go back to source and say, well, actually, what I'm doing isn't working. So if anyone wants any sort of tips on materials to read, you need to read. You need to consume all of Dan Kennedy's stuff. And the reason why I say Dan Kennedy is because he's one of the highest paid marketing consultants in the world. Okay. The reason why I say Dan Kennedy is that he said something great. He said, competing on price is a race to the bottom.
Yes, of course it is.
And who wants to have in this type of group, which I'm assuming we are mostly service-based industries rather than commodity-based industries, who wants to have a race to the bottom? Because life insurance, somebody will always do, somebody will always go cheaper. So my job is not to be the cheapest. It's far easier to try and be the best.
Absolutely.
And you respect people more when they pay you more.
Yes. So
you're more inclined to get results because you understand what? You understand your lifetime value of a client. So you're going to say, well, I'm going to kiss their backside and call it ice cream because they're worth 1,500 quid. Yeah. Versus, and actually, they're the least pain in the arses.
Of course.
Pain in the arses, and I'd love to tell you a story, and perhaps if you're meeting on a drunken night out, I'll tell you it. But the most abuse I've ever had as a business owner is from the people who pay the least.
To be fair, John, you're absolutely spot on there. It's unfortunately, and I think coming in my own business, trying to help everybody, that was the mistake I made early doors, because you're right.
You've got to go through it.
The ones who, oh, well, you know, let's have 4 meetings and I'm never going to make a commitment to give you any money. And
yeah,
I've learned, I've got my radar now. So that's brilliant. Mate, you've actually...
But you've got to go through it, mate. You have to go through it. This is really important. There's no substitute for experience. I heard, another quote. It's like, and I'll butcher this, but clever people learn from their own experiences. Geniuses learn from other people's. You have to go through this stuff I'm talking about. You have to go through. You have to go through the tire kickers and all this. You have to go through all of that to get to the point where you're able to say, what is it I actually want? And you're not doing anybody a disservice. It's like people who think someone who has a cleaner is, we don't, but someone who has a cleaner is snobby. Well, somebody wants that work.
Of course.
So if you're charging 80 quid an hour and you're doing a £10 an hour task, so somebody wants that work.
Somebody wants that work.
Yeah, and that's not disrespectful. That's not. Yeah. It's some. My wife's Polish. They graft unreal work ethic. Yeah. They will go. Yeah. They will do that work. They will do that work.
They will do work. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? So it's that. What I'm saying is, if number one, I've triggered anybody, good. Number two. Hey, listen, it creates change. One of my mentors said to me, people who gather too much information, ask them one question: has change occurred? Yeah. So you want more information. Has all this information led to any actual meaningful change? Yeah, yeah. And if it hasn't, if you're not going to go out today and work out your average price per customer, your effort fund, how much you're willing to spend, who you want to help, and your why, then this has just been me coffeed up, ranting, talking rubbish for 35 minutes.
Mate, to be fair, I'm loving this. I think, like I said, if anyone, let's see if there's any more comments.
Sorry.
Any questions? Honestly, you're absolutely smashing it. Let me have a look. Price conscious. Yeah, Chris Day says price conscious customers are always the worst. Absolutely.
It's not their fault. It's not their fault. They're just not your customer.
It's just the way they are.
They're just not your customer.
Ernie Boxall says DDWT, don't deal with that. Glenn says, oh, Nigel, you're going to love captioning this one. I think I am, mate. Jalal says, very dynamic and lots of helpful booms in there. Oh, thank you, Jalal. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that.
Glenn, I'm soaking it up, fella. And Ernie Boxall, he first heard it from Robert Kioski. I was never a good writer, but I'm a great marketeer. Like I says, John, absolutely phenomenal. And I'm going to enjoy doing the captions for this, because all this knowledge then gets brought back to life. And what I'll probably do is I'll probably send you the captions, turn it into a blog post, mate. I mean, not being funny, what you're saying now is some powerful stuff. You've pretty much kind of answered this next question, but I was going to actually say to you, what advice would you give somebody who was looking to start a business now, post-COVID?
Post-COVID. Again, there's what's that? There's a brilliant book called Positioning by Jack Trout and Al Rees, and they're two top marketeer guys. Jack Trout and Al Rees, I think the name are. But if you Google Positioning, they've got a few books. And
Jack Trout and Al.
Jack Trout, Al Rees, R-I-E-S as my thing. But if you Google Positioning, you'll find Positioning, and they've got a few books. They've got the 21 Unrefutable Laws of Marketing as well. These are really top guys. Yeah. And in Positioning, they talk about they use a French word. I can't. It's crush something. Look for the hole.
Right. Okay.
What's the gap? So, what is the hole that you can fill with whatever it is you do? So COVID. So, and again, I've got to be careful here because I don't want to tempt fate, but I run an outdoor fitness program. Yeah. Now, if you think that anybody's going to rush back to an indoor environment, especially middle-aged women, I might be wrong, and I'm happy to be proved wrong, but I run an outdoor fitness program. We don't use any equipment. We can socially distance easily. We don't share anything. We are the safest option that they've got.
Absolutely.
So we can fill a hole.
That hole.
Yeah. So what problem has this? Because you can be a victim, and we can all be blah, blah, blah. But we can also say, well, what has this problem created? Or what? Well, actually, what's new mindsets has it created? Well, one thing is what we're doing here. Yes. So I've been doing some remote training. I launched a I can help somebody lose weight without personally training them. All I need to do is 30. We'll call it 12, 30 minutes with somebody each week. 30 minutes.
You didn't even catch a breath. There's like, boom.
Let's get them out the diary. Let's get them out, all of them. Let's just talk to you all day.
Oh, wow.
But basically, I don't need that because I can give them what I need to give them in a weekly chat. So, and the exercise is kind of, this is not about the product. What it's about is about utilizing the technology we have. Yeah?
Yes, absolutely.
If you ever use if you're new to business now, or you're starting a business or getting into business now, and the expression technophobe, comes through your head, fill a bucket with ice cold water and stick your head in it until that thought gets frozen out because you are finished. That you've got to drop that nonsense about this belief system stuff. I'm a technophobe. I'm this. I'm that. I'm the other. Because unless you get into this stuff,
you're going to be left behind.
Oh, mate, it's there for us. The remote stuff, the coaching.
Yeah.
If you're someone like, if you're a coach, so some of the people in this group say coaches change coaches, whatever. If you can do that remotely, well, guess what? Number one, you take out any travel costs, any premises costs, any of that, because you can literally sit in your house.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm literally able to coach somebody sat at my desk here in my house. Yeah. And we've got PTs that we're mentoring and coaching who are loving life because they're able to do back-to-back sessions, mobile trainers, without leaving the house and still charge more than the average PT charges because they're excellent at what they do. Yeah. That's the freedom. That's the why. Yeah. So what's the whole? What problems have been created by COVID? Yeah. Yeah. What's it highlighted about society? What's it highlighted about business? And where can you fill that hole? Yeah.
Oh,
classic
guys,
one.
seriously,
Classic
man.
one. Let's give an example. Loneliness.
Yeah.
Yeah. People have been lonely. People have been isolated. Well, if you're going to help somebody, I'm an NLP practitioner. If you're going to help people with change and changing their mindset, one of those things is about how they interact with other people, belief systems, how they love themselves and love others. So if you can offer them a way of saying, people were scared of this stuff. Did you find yourself in isolation, lonely, blah, blah, blah? Yeah. Well, I can help you to be more confident around others, to speak to the opposite sex or the same sex, whatever you want to do, or speak to God nowadays, God, who knows? But gotta be careful. But there you go. So you can enable them to solve that problem rather than being condescending, and you know what I mean? Rather than saying, well, this could have highlighted a problem in your life.
Yes.
Here's how you fix it. I'm speaking to people, right, who were 3-4 times a week in the gym. Lockdown happened, rug pulled. They haven't done anything for 12 weeks.
I'm in hell. Because
we're creatures of habit. Yeah. If NLP, classic principle, something called the law of requisite variety, which says the person with the most flexibility behavior will end up controlling the system. So if you're flexible, so if you can, and I hate this word, and it's been used by these knobheads on LinkedIn, if you can use the word pivot, I hate it, and unprecedented, I hate it, but I can't think, and it's that whole thing about pivoting your business. So what can you do to say, oh my God, this has happened. Woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. Hang on a minute. How can you then adjust and then use that knowledge that you've learned over the last few months to then build something? Yes. To then help people. And another thing about procrastination, which is what all my mentors have told me, start selling it and build it afterwards.
Yes. I agree.
So if you're selling a course, like a module-based course, do the first module. Yeah. Do that, and then as you go through the course, you're going to highlight issues and things.
You'll find bits you can streamline, you can tweak, you can modify. Yeah,
and remember, people want content, not presentation. Yeah. So drop the flashy this is all great. I've just bought myself like a lapel mic just so I can sound better.
Yes.
But you don't need all that. Yeah. No, you need to be able to solve problems.
The thing is, I think a lot of people go for perfection before they take action.
It's a form of avoidance. It's an avoidance.
It is avoidance. I've got people within my circle. In fact, one of my friends, he came around the other day and we had that same conversation about him being a great artist. Well, he would take a great piece of work and crumple it up and throw it in the bin because he didn't like it. But what he produced was good enough to go on someone's wall and be charged for. But perfection, stagnation. But John, we're running out of time. So listen, I knew this would go like this. Is there anything that the group can help you with right now?
Not really. I think for me, it'd just be, I'm always of the viewpoint of, with my core business, so the group program, that I don't, and again, this goes back to this, I can't remember which book I got it from, but it's a brilliant thing. It's, don't try and be better, try and be different. So, or because it's very hard to be the best, and it's intangible. So, from our point of view, from a group, it's people need to know there is an option.
Yes.
So if they don't want to go to the gym, they don't want to pay PT prices. They don't. And they are particularly in that age group of women that have struggled with diets. Let's be honest, it's that generation that struggled, they've been on diets for a while or whatever, and maybe struggle to stick to things. There is another option out there.
Yes.
And if anybody ever wants me to come and talk rubbish on any other Facebook groups or whatever and talk about this stuff, well, I've got I love the sound of my own voice. It helps me boost my ego. I'm not gonna lie.
John, I'm gonna tout you out, mate. I'm gonna tout you out. I think any group will definitely benefit from
more
what
than
you're
happy,
saying.
mate.
I want you to do me a massive favour, mate. I want you to put all of your links to everything you do in the comments. So you're
in the Facebook group,
in the group, in the comments in the video. So your group program, the one-to-one stuff. For people who are maybe looking to get into this market themselves, where they can find out more information. Any asset you've created, which you can kind of direct people to, which are going to give them that little bit more about you. Brilliant, mate. Listen, wow. Thank you so much, man.
It was 45. It wasn't 20 minutes, was it? It was 45 minutes.
Well, to be fair, when I started doing this, I based it on 20 minutes. And somehow it stretched to 35 to 45. The problem I have is because I also then captioned the video.
Oh, right, okay.
And I don't know if you know this, but when you're captioning a video, it takes between 2 and 4 times as long to caption as to what the video length is. So I did one recently with me and Pete Morgan, the podcast king, and that was, I think it was a 35-minute video, which took me about 3.5 hours to caption. Let's just say I wasn't best pleased, but it's good because it helps with YouTube optimization.
Oh, of course,
And also it means that there's content there which can be pulled out, repurposed, so on and so forth. But John, don't go away. I'm going to end the stream now. I'm just going to go through the comments and see if there's anybody else. Right, so Chris Day says, I'm busy telling people their future is dependent on using tech. Absolutely, Chris Day.
Bucket of cold water.
Yeah, Ernie Boxall's got to go. See you later, Ernie. Hi, Trisha Pratt. Jill out. John Hill, this is just like me with my online real-time Zoom cookery classes I have developed for my post-COVID business. Rather than pounding the floor of my calf bar to try and sell as many drinks as I can, we're slowly letting a maximum of 4 people in at a time. So she's doing Zoom cookery classes online. Glenn, some people don't take any action just because they are looking too hard for perfection. They do nothing. Absolutely. John, Jalal says he should be a business coach. Swear to God. You're right. He should be a business coach. Some of the stuff that he, the knowledge that he shares and tells people. The thing is, though, guys, you've got to take it on and you've got to apply it. It's all very well just kind of saying, yeah, this is great. But, watch this video again. Put out some of those bits which resonate with your business. Make notes and start putting them into play and measure the results. Get yourself an effort fund. It hasn't got to be huge. John. Effort fund. What can you start with? What, 50 quid, 100 quid?
Yeah, for example, let's make it crude. And again, this isn't. So, say for example, Google or Facebook ads. You could do a quite simple campaign with basic knowledge, with a clear intention, clear goal, and all that sort of stuff. For about 50 quid.
Yeah. There it is, guys.
And that's it. And then,
And the thing is with Google, if you do sign up to their AdWords program, they give you a voucher. So you can actually spend their money to do your adverts.
Can I add a point on that as well, Nigel? What you've got to remember with advertising, paid advertising, this is where people miss the point. Google, Facebook, all these people, they're the two main platforms at the moment. They reward smart advertisers because they want you spending money.
Of course they do.
They don't. Facebook don't reject ads, lightly. They do it because it obviously doesn't meet guidelines. They don't. Oh, we don't want your money. Google don't go. Oh, we don't want you. They want your money. So
they want your dash.
So if you're a smart advertiser, I mean, I had my Facebook ad account closed down a few years ago because of an error I made, and because I'd spent so much money with them, I think that's why they opened it up again.
They're like, oh my God, I can't send my kids to grammar school because John Hill can't.
Sure. And trust me, some of the guys I know, I mean, they're 5 figures a month on Facebook ads because it's honestly scalable.
It's the return, isn't it?
Which way you want to go, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you start for 50 quid and make 75. Well, that's your first start. So I think it's just about, you've just got to understand that people reward smart advertising because they want you spending more money. They want you to be successful.
Brilliant. Chris Day, thanks, John. Great, accessible insights. Oh,
Thank you.
He thanked me as well. And Jalal said it should have been meals. Mesks and drinks. Oh, meals and drinks. Got you. Right, guys, listen, we're going to wrap up because John has got some meetings now, although I'll be happy to speak to him for the rest of the day. John, thank you very much.
Very welcome. Thank you.
Don't run off straight away. I'm going to end the
I'm not going to make
it. We'll have 2 minutes. But, guys, thank you very much.
Guys. Thanks for listening, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. And thank you, Nigel.
Make sure you rewatch this video, guys. There's some serious pearls in here. Serious pearls. See you all later on. Oh, if you want to catch me later on, I'm also hosting the virtual afternoon tea party at 2:00 for Karen Bourne's group. So if you're interested in that, send me a DM and I'll send you a link to the meeting. Guys, catch up with you later. John, I'll see you on the other side.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.